Tottenham have played 3 fixtures in the Premier League so far this season. We are now in an international break, so it's time to reflect on these games and some of the issues that have come from them. We've obviously had a 1-1 draw with Leicester City, a 4-0 win against Everton, and a 2-1 loss against Newcastle. And in these games, we've seen an underlying issue which Tottenham need to solve this season. And this problem can be solved very, very simply. So today on the Sonny Talk Spurs YouTube channel, we're going to be answering the question how Dominic Solanke fixes Tottenham's problems. And if you are new to the Sonny Talk Spurs YouTube channel, why don't you drop a like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and also become a member in the link in the description down below. So yeah, it was a frustrating result against Newcastle United, dominated the proceedings, had about 20 shots, but only was able to score 1 goal, and that was an own goal through Dan Burn kicking it into his own net after Nick Pope flapping about and Brennan Johnson being a nuisance at the back post. But this game yet again proves how Tottenham are just not the same team when they don't have a focal point. And that focal point is obviously our new striker, Dominic Solanke. He's only been able to play 1 game, and that was the game against Leicester City. And, you know, if you take this game in isolation, we obviously were quite wasteful in that game as well. Created a lot of chances in the first half and could have been leading Leicester by 1, 2, 3, 4 goals early doors. But what you have to take into consideration is this was obviously Dominic Solanke's first game for Tottenham. He'd been chucked straight into the starting lineup and obviously had not got used to playing the system that Ange Postecoglou plays. He's obviously played in a Bournemouth side who sort of plays similar football on their front foot, attacking, pressing football. But, you know, it's not just an overnight thing with Solanke at Spurs. It is going to take some time for him to adjust. We obviously had the game against Everton. And against Everton, we did take some of our chances. I mean, there were opportunities to score plenty of more goals. There was a Romero chance, I remember, early in the first half. But, you know, Son scored his 2 goals in that game. Romero scored a header from a corner, which was obviously quite vital as well. Basuma, really good goal to open the proceedings. And then, obviously, if you think back to the Leicester goal as well, Pedro Porro, great movement, an amazing cross from James Maddison. And you then fast forward to the Newcastle game. So many good patterns of plays, so many good crosses, but there was no one on the end of them. There was no one there to sort of tap them home, you know, be an aerial presence in the box as well. And that's where Dominic Solanke comes in. I even saw many times where, you know, we're on the edge of the area, bopping it about, not sure what to do. And there's no one there to sort of fizz it into, you know, to sort of Dominic Solanke can take the ball to his feet, back to goal, turn and make something of it. He did that a lot for Bournemouth last season, making something out of nothing. That's sort of where his bread and butter is for Bournemouth and hopefully will be for Spurs. And also I think what Dominic Solanke does as well is he will improve the players around him. A lot of pressure in this Newcastle game came down to Son. And I don't think Son was able to sort of be that creative presence on the left-hand side. He wasn't really comfortable shooting as he was against Everton. And I think what Dominic Solanke's inclusion into the team will do is it will open up more opportunities for Son and Solanke to sort of work how Kane and Son did back in the day for Spurs. And I just think the same is the case for James Maddison. James Maddison, I think in the Newcastle game was getting frustrated, wasn't able to find many forward passing balls. But I think having a player like Dominic Solanke in the team will mean that this is more of an opportunity that will happen going forward. He can sort of ping the ball over the top to him. You know, Dominic Solanke can do a good forward run, open some space for Maddison to dribble in and maybe pop off a few shots. Again, the wingers. I thought Odobert had a good game. Brennan Johnson came on and I thought he looked quite lively. They're zipping in crosses. They're putting in all these chances, yet there's no one on the end of them. Dominic Solanke. And I think, you know, Dejan Kulusevski, I know we used him in pre-season in a false 9, but personally, I think he's more stronger as an 8 or maybe on the wing as well. And, you know, again, another attacking presence who can fire balls into Dominic Solanke's feet, on his head. I just feel like the team is missing its focal point when it doesn't have Solanke. And I think the same was last season when Richarlison wasn't in the team. You know, we did suffer in front of goal. Richarlison as well, you know, he wasn't in the matchday squad through injury against Newcastle. So I just am not a fan of Son through the middle either. I feel like he does his best work on the wing. So yeah, I just feel like this is an issue, and I mentioned it in my instant reaction in the Newcastle game, of Tottenham create so many chances under Ange Postecoglou. We just have to be more potent. And we've signed a striker in the shape of Dominic Solanke, who is going to be that potent forward, who's going to score hopefully between 15 and 20 Premier League goals, like he did for Bournemouth last term. So I actually don't think there's all that to worry about when it comes to this Spurs side, being wasteful. I feel like it's all there. It just needed that final piece of the jigsaw puzzle, which we do have. Hopefully Dominic Solanke does start the North London derby against Arsenal, because we will need him. He will need to, bring his A game, and I feel like him facing up against the likes of Saliba and Gabriel at the back will be a good competition for him. Obviously at home it helps as well, and I don't think there's this pressure on Dominic Solanke to get that first goal, but it's just also his hold-up play, bringing others into the game will be very beneficial to this Spurs side. I just don't think at the moment, I think without him we're a far worse team, and the fact that he's there but he's injured is just not ideal. I believe he will be fit enough to play against Arsenal in that fixture in the North London derby, because I think the injury he sustained against Leicester was just a knock. So nothing really too bad, but just needed 2 games to sort of, recover from that. But yeah, I think Dominic Solanke will be the answer for Spurs. He is the answer for Spurs. He will score goals. And the problem of wastefulness, we will be more potent in the attack with him. He will improve the likes of Son, Maddison. The midfield will flow better. The attack. I feel like a lot of Spurs signings, like Odobert as well, Bergvall, they're just very good creatively, but no one's on the end to finish them. We've been blessed over the years at Spurs having some of the top strikers, and most recently Harry Kane. And Harry Kane was that potent goal scorer. Obviously, Dominic Solanke is not the same calibre as Harry Kane. And Son has obviously been good in his goal scoring record as well. But I think there's a lot of pressure. If Son's not on his A game, then where do the goals come from? And that's why Dominic Solanke was signed for the football club, so he could be that talisman and get the goals that we need to win games.
Dominic Solanke, you know him well, goes to Tottenham. Are you pleased for him? Is that a move that surprised you, or what did you think?
I don't think it's a move that surprised me. I think from going off his form last season, the amount of goals that he scored, and I think you look at the way Tottenham play, how Ange wants to play, I think he suits that Tottenham role. Like, he's got a lot of energy. He's like an old school number 9. He makes a lot of runs in behind. He presses high, which is obviously one of Ange's principles. He always wants the strikers to press the goalkeeper and stuff like that. But I think he'll score a lot of goals in that Tottenham team. Just the way they play, I think he'll score a lot of goals. I'm happy for him.
Did the price tag surprise you? 65 million.
Yeah, it's a lot of money, but it's just the way the game's gone. To be honest, I think if you want a centre forward, it's going to cost a lot of money. I hope he hits the ground running. I hope he gets his first goal soon. Because as a centre forward, confidence is massive. When you can sort of it's a lot of money. I hope he doesn't think about the fee too much. But in terms of his ability, he showed last season that he's someone that can score goals consistently, and that. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he does.
So yeah, that's my basic assessment on Dominic Solanke. Basically, will come into this Spurs team and put the issues to bed of the goal scoring. Because I think, if you actually reflect on that Newcastle game, Spurs weren't all that bad. There was just, 2 moments of madness that weren't tactical based. It was just a case of, switching off from a throw-in and then, maybe getting a bit caught out, but from maybe individual errors. I don't think there was any question about tactics in this game. And if you do put away your chances, like the Leicester game where we should have, and like this game as well, then you're looking at 9 points out of 9. But that somehow football doesn't always work like that. But let me know in the comment section, do you think Dominic Solanke will solve the problems of Spurs' wastefulness, or do you still worry that there's a lot of pressure on his shoulders? Because that's the bit that is a bit concerning. He has got a lot of pressure going into this team. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, leave a like, subscribe to Sonny Talk Spurs, hit the notification bell, and also become a member. Link in the description down below. But until next time, go and check out my previous videos. But I will see you guys pretty soon. Ciao.